taking our Christmas pajama pictures. So that's why you see me in my pajama colors and Pepper Girl in her pajamas. Noodle, come show them your pajamas. Come on. Noodle Doodle in his pajamas. We all did the red, black, and white. So that's Noodle in his pajamas. He wants a cookie. So I know the last time we came on live, we told you guys when we came back, we would be talking about locations. So places that we visited that we want to give you guys a heads up. That would be great. Some things that maybe you didn't know about the area to kind of help you if you are planning to go west for winter, or maybe you're planning your trip for next year. So we'll give everybody a little bit of time to get in so I don't have to say things twice. Well, I haven't ate dinner yet, so I snuck a cookie that I love with eggnog. It's my favorite. And so don't forget to check out my reel. It'll have the Christmas pictures in it. And I'm going to turn them into postcards. So I'm going to work on that after the live. And then you'll be able to see it. So, hey Angie. I'm hoping tonight will be very successful. And like I said, we just finished our Christmas pictures and we turn them into postcards. The babies, they have their pajamas on. They're matching mama. So it's Noodle in his little pajamas. And Pepper has on her pajamas too. And Cedric and I, we took some Christmas photos with the dogs and together. So I'm going to get that together and then get them out. But right now, I wanted to talk to you guys about locations, because the last time, that was our last conversation of where we left off as far as location was concerned. I was hoping that Say would be here with me because it is easy to talk when you can bounce things off of each other. But we'll see how it goes. Let me know in the comment section if there's any places that you've been you want to talk about or anything like that. Hi, Miss Margaret. It is still snowing here. As today, we got some light snow showers, but it's raining and it's getting warm. It's going to be like 40 at some point this week, so hopefully all that will kind of melt off. And I was trying to look at next week because I want to make sure that things look good for us when it's time for us to pull out of here. We have this week and then next week, and then we'll be heading out. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about is locations. Now, we have been quite a few places. We've zigzagged across the United States several times. And we've also stayed in a lot of campgrounds, a lot of boondocking spots, and a lot of state parks. So I want to share that information with you guys just in case I thank you. I am feeling quite cozy. And just in case you guys are looking to go a few places or some places you want to check out. So make sure you subscribe. We got 19 people, 19 thumbs up. Thank you so much. And I'm hoping that we can get this going. Now, when we left Tennessee on our first voyage, we first landed in Texas. So I'm going to give you kind of blow by blow places that we've been and let you know what was there, whether it was full hookup. I did a video about it. You can always go and check and see. But this will kind of help you gauge. So we were in Sanford, Texas, which is like North Texas, right outside of Amarillo, Texas, and we stayed at Meredith State Park, and so that is considered Sanford, Texas, but it's in the northern part. There was hookups there, but you can also boondock there for absolutely no money at all. It's free, so none of their. If you get a non-hookup site, you don't have to pay anything. It's free, but if you get I think it's just an electric site. I believe water. I think it's just water and electric. It was $25 a night, and it's right there off of this lake, but not too far from this plant that looked like children working there, chained to the machine that they're working on. It looked very scary, and it messed with the outdoors, like the sky. We had this, it was supposed to rain and then it didn't, and then we had this dust storm, and then the sun was out and then it wasn't. It was just really weird weather there, but it was a nice park, very quiet during the time we went. It was people there, but everybody was pretty much minding their own business. But we stayed there, and it was right outside of Amarillo, Texas. Now, when we left there, we went to Cadillac Ranch. That was pretty cool. So if you're in the area, make sure you want to stop there. Our next stop after that, we went to Roswell, New Mexico, and we stayed at Bottomless Lake. Bottomless Lake is amazing. It is very nice. You need to get there soon because the lake does have a bottom. The water is receding. So at the time of our adventure there, it was going down. But Bottomless Lake was really cool. It's a state park in New Mexico, right outside of Roswell, maybe about 7 or 8 miles. And there we stayed in the park. We stayed in a boondocking spot. It was $10 for the night. And you can get a water and electric site, which is $14 a night. And I believe all the state parks in New Mexico are $14 a night for the water and electric, which is very affordable if you're looking to kind of go south. It would have a mile winter, so to speak. Certain areas I know get snow, some don't. So you can kind of figure that out, but you can plan, right? And so when we got there, the water electric sites were all taken, of course. And we met a couple that had been there for the 14 days, and they were like, that was cheap for them. So they stayed there. Thank you guys. I'd like to get thumbs up. So all 16 of you, make sure you hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, right? Because we're going to be pulling out of Illyria soon, and we're going to be heading south. And I love a good adventure. So we'll be taking some pictures and doing some videos of some of the campgrounds we'll be staying along the way. And it would have been nice to get Cedric's perspective on this, but it's okay. We're gonna keep moving forward as far, because see, we both travel together, but we travel differently. Like some stuff he likes and he can give you from a certain perspective. Some stuff I like, I give from a certain perspective, but I digress. So with Bottomless Lake, it is really close to Roswell. And so you can run into town, get what you need. It's really touristy, so you'll if you're into the alien type scene, alien everything, even at the laundromat, you can see aliens. So it is really cool. It's a really cool place, and it's about an hour, maybe hour and a half drive to White Sands, which brings me to the next place we stayed. We stayed at a military, it's military land off of a base that's free to the public, if that makes any sense at all. And it's right outside of White Sands, and you can boondock there for 14 days. And there was a lot of people there. A lot of people there. It was like, and there are some really good spaces by the water, and you could stay there for 14 days and you could check that out. And we went to White Sands from there. And we only stayed the night. I think we just stayed one night. We just spent the night there because we were headed to Patagonia Lake, which is another state park, but it was in Arizona. Now, I know what you're saying. Is Patagonia Lake a part of Patagonia the jacket? No, it is not. So Patagonia Lake is very far south in Arizona, but it's a really nice lake, but people still there apparently. Everything's chained down. There's signs when you pull into the park telling you secure everything, because at night people come there and they steal. They stole some radios out of the boats that was there. They were stealing people's kayaks. It was just shenanigans, right? But there is where I was introduced to the Sisters on the Fly. I didn't know about them. And so when we got there, I met some ladies, and they were a group of them. It was about 20 of them that came and filled up the park, and they were meeting there, and they invited me over, and that was the coolest experience of all these ladies who do full-time RVing or RVing as a hobby, and they were there. So I got a chance to meet the Sisters on the Fly. And if you are a solo female RVer or van lifer, that is a great group to be a part of. They have a lot of different chapters in different places, so you can look into what chapters in your area, and they're always planning trips. They're always doing stuff together. This particular bunch went to New Mexico for the day. So it was really cool, and we were right there at the border, right at the border. So we stayed there for, I think it was 3 nights. We stayed and hung out there for 3 nights, and then we left. And our next stop after then was courtside, believe it or not. This was before the season started there. It was in March, so it really wasn't anybody there. They were getting ready to the camp host was getting ready they were getting ready to leave, and they allowed us to stay there for free. So that was really nice. There were some people there, but it wasn't full like how you're thinking courtside is whenever you go in January. It was definitely not like that. It was ghost town as far as I'm concerned. Then after then we left and we made it to San Diego. And we were in San Diego and we had a Thousand Trails membership at the time. So we stayed at Thousand Trails and we stayed at two different places. So we did what was it? 7 days at one and then 7 days at another one. And they let us do that. So that was really cool. But we did our 14 days in San Diego where we just kind of played bummy tours. We went around. We love Balboa Park, so we go there all the time. We love to go over to Granada Island, and so we go over there for the beach. We did some touristy stuff, and then we left and went to Joshua Tree, which is a national park. No, we went to Joshua Tree National Park, and we stayed there. Now, if you ever think about staying in national parks, uh, Joshua Tree has a lot of boondocking spaces, and you're gonna pay $30 a night. There's no hookups or anything like that. I think they do have like a facility, but it's not close. But we did stay there for 2 nights, and that was really fun because we got a chance to just kind of check out the park and have a good time and sit up under the stars. And so that was fun. And then we ended our first few months out on the road in Ely, Nevada, where there was lots of camping going on. So I would like to kind of talk about the different types of camping as far as that's concerned. I wrote about that in my book, and I think a lot of times people have questions about that. So starting out, you have your weekend warriors. Those are your people that buy the camper and they stay for the weekend. They come out when they have time off on long weekends, or their vacation during the summer is them taking the camper out and they're gone for a week or two at a park with the kids. And usually, wherever park they're at, that's the destination, and they have fun. Then you have your seasonal people. Seasonal is those who, during the wintertime, hunker down in one space. They might go back to a house, like they have a home or something like that, and they go back to it. I think you guys can't see me. That might be the problem. And they might have a house, and so they go back to their home to kind of hunker down for the season, and then they get ready to go out into the world when the summer comes. Usually around March, they'll start heading out, and they live in their camper or their RV, or they do work camping during that time. Then you have your snowbirds. These are people that they live at home in the summer, and then in the winter they come down to Florida or California or warmer weather, and they stay in the RV in some kind of warmer weather because they've retired. They've got what you called a seasonal plot, or a not a seasonal plot. Yeah, seasonal plot where they pay a couple grand and then they stay there for the duration of the winter. So they usually get there like September and they stay till like April, right? And then you have us, which are your full timers, where we have officially full time moved into the RV, and this is our primary resident, and we kind of go where we either want to go or where the work is, if you're still working. So with that, a lot of times, and you probably already know this, people always migrate south. Cedric, what is that? It got really, really bright and it was flashing across the window. Sorry, you guys. You know, we are tucked away. Oh, it's your fire. Okay. We were tucked away, and I'm not paranoid, but I'm very vigilant. Like, snow. I saw something looking like flames flying across the window. It was like yellow light going. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so I had to get the husband on the job. And so, yes. So some of the favorite places, Angie, if you decide to get the husband on board and you go out west, some of my top favorite places is going to be Lone Rock Campground, which is $12 a night, and you're going to be camping on the beach. And on a sandy beach. So that means you got to be careful where you're going to, because lots of people were getting stuck. You have to stay on the packed sand area, and you'll know. Usually, what we did was we stopped, we walked out where we wanted to stay, made sure that it was not soft sand, and then we drove out there. They do have like vault toilets and bathrooms and stuff like that, but the goal is to be very self contained. They have trash out there. Come here. Come here, Sugar Plum, in his pajamas. He's got matching pajamas. Now, they do have vault toilets out there and whatnot, but I'm not a vault toilet kind of girl. Guess he joined us. Yay. So, one of the things, I would tell you, one of the reasons why I love doing the live with my husband is because we talk quite a bit because we're always together. So we're always talking about something. So it's easy to have a conversation when he's around because I have stuff, I can bounce stuff off of him. So if you've made it to this part of the video, the treat begins because the real conversation comes in. Like I was telling you, we travel together, but we travel very differently. He experiences our travels one way, I experience it another way, and we're going to give it to you from a couple's perspective as well as people who are traveling full time as RVers. Now, I was telling you our route when we first started out and how fun it was. Hey, how you doing, Random? So it was what we did starting out. But I can tell you some of the places that we've been, he was not having it. We were boondocking down this one road, and I swear it took you. Thank you. I swear it took us about. It was about 6 miles in, right? 6 miles down this road, and it was all potholes and ditches. We were out in, where were we, in Arizona? We were going to this boondocking spot. He's getting ready to get us right, y'all, because I could tell we just blowed out. Y'all just talking to figures and shadows. He gonna take care of us. See, that's why we need him. Woo! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Too warm. Too yellow. That'll work for me. It's cozy. It's like a fire. It looks like a campfire. That'll work. So we were going down this road, and oh my goodness, it was so bumpy. It was like 8 miles down the road. And how long have y'all been dating? Well, we've been together we dated for 4.5 years, and then we got married. And we've been together 21 years, and we've been married 16. So it's been some time. We've been full time RVing for 5 years, and we still love each other after those 5 years. I'm telling you, RVing in a small space, it will test your relationship. But you have to realize when the other person needs space, right? And so he is an outdoorsy guy through and through. He loves to be outside. And so we got to the point where we kind of set that up as his little oasis. So he has his tent, he has his chairs, his fire pit, all the stuff where we can share the space together, but at the same time, he's got a place to go and relax and watch his TV and stuff he wants to do outside. And then the inside, I'm in here, I get to relax and recline. And then on when we're ready, we come together. Either I come outside or he comes in here. Our first year out, I think we spend the majority of our time outside. I don't think we hardly ever turned our TV on. Most of it was because there was nothing to watch. We were stuck in Ely. I
Yeah,
wouldn't say
that.
stuck.
But
I
not
love
only that,
Ely.
I mean, we just everything was new. I mean, the experiences was new. The places that we were going were new. I mean, you can take the RV and pretty much put it anywhere and make it your front or backyard or whatever you choose to
Come on,
do. And
come on.
so, yeah, I think all of it was new in the beginning, so it was great. Um, the first year to me hold like some of the most magical times that we had doing this because we visited all the places that we saw on YouTube before, or either just somebody else kind of recommended these places while we were traveling. And so while we were on the way, we were like, why not? So those spontaneous experiences for me personally was like the best ones. The planned ones were too, but I really like the spontaneous stops like Chuck Waller Trailhead out in St. George, Utah. Really great place. Snow Canyon.
We just pulled over and
You
stopped.
know,
We were
they
like,
were
let's just
actually
get out and walk.
they were actually having the
The
Iron
Iron Man,
Man
yep.
challenge out there when we went, and
Hey, Destiny.
that was really, really, really cool to kind of see that. I'm a fan of the Iron Man challenge, so
Destiny said she had to get on the video chat with her son to catch us live.
oh, thank you. She said I told him I would call him back.
You are
Hey,
dedicated to the cause, girl.
thank you so much.
Well, go ahead,
But
baby.
yeah, I mean, you know, some of our best moments doing this were to me in the first year of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Noodle, stop licking me. I'm sorry, y'all. He just licking me to death over
It's the
here.
pajamas. They're all soft, and he's a
He is
snuggler
licking
for
me
sure.
like crazy.
Okay, baby, let me ask you this question. Out of all the campgrounds we stayed at, we've stayed at quite a few, you guys. Tell us your top three that you like. Your top three campgrounds and why. And make it brief, because I'm going to give my top three.
Okay, my top three. Noodle, no. My my top three are definitely gonna have to be.
He said they do look comfy. Our pajamas.
Oh, the pajamas. Destiny is a real. Okay, I'm sorry. The comments are kind of maybe lagging.
He is
Destiny is a real
not
one.
focused. Okay, have you ever had
They do look
somebody
comfy.
that
They do look. They are comfy. The
if you
pants. If you guys want to check them out, you know what I'm saying? Because I know we off topic here. These are
oh
real
my goodness,
smooth, and you know.
he's selling pajama pants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They nice though. This is actually our first time doing this. You know, the dressing alike, and oh, thank you for the gifts.
And guess what? Guess what? Right here, the high voodoo priest. Oh my goodness,
A black
that's
RV
one
couple,
thing.
so beautiful.
10
Love
acres
camping. I
purchase.
purchased 10 acres so I can homestead, possibly travel to. Nice inspiration. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you as
We
well.
were talking about doing that, like getting a couple acres, like 2 or 3 acres, and so when we want to get off the road and we want to just kind of like drop anchor for a couple weeks, we could do that. So we've had a dream of having a our own like boondocking RV park. So we've been talking about that for quite some time, and I'd like to do it in New Mexico. And we were talking about, we were looking around. So homesteading is definitely something that we thought about. We don't want to stop traveling, but we would like to have like a slab with a septic and a well, where the days we want to settle down or we want to get off the road for a little while, but we don't want to, drive too far. We're going to be halfway between where everybody is and where we want to be. We have a piece of land. So we've been thinking about that. We've been thinking about that. So you're inspiration for us as well.
Can you sing me a song? I'm sad.
Oh, that's too bad. Pray. That's even better. And it says, "You all look so cute." Thank you. Thank you.
I can't sing personally, so I probably wouldn't even be the one to ask that.
Now, you said, are we still enjoying full time RV living?
Okay, hold on. Who
Yes.
said the comment? Okay, the high voodoo. Okay, all right.
Yes, Destiny. That's so crazy because I was just talking to Cedric like 2 days ago, and I was like, "Honey, we were passing by all these nice houses, and stop it, all these nice houses, and they all decorated for Christmas and all this stuff." And what did I ask you?
What?
What did I ask you? That's why you should pay attention in class.
She asked me, "Do I ever think about getting a house again?"
I said, "Do you ever want to, get tired of
Just
this?"
kind
And,
of stop doing this
and he
and
was
go back
like,
to a
"No."
house. But I mean, the reason why I'm trying to let y'all know that I'm not safe.
Whatever.
But no, seriously, um, this is an adventurous lifestyle. I mean, the space is great. It's cozy. Um, I love that it kind of makes us closer together, and the things that we do is very, very, very um, challenging in a way of, making sure you do things twice. I like to check things 3 times. We like to kind of go over each other's work. She'll go over things I do outside. I'll go over things she do inside. None of it really is like a drag on either one of us because I usually take care of everything.
But do you still
I
enjoy
do
doing
still
full
enjoy.
time?
I do. I really do because it's a lot that go into it that I enjoy. I enjoy the moving around, the packing up, the setting up. I enjoy the backing in the first time when people are sitting there looking at you and they want to see how you back that thing up. You know what I'm saying? So I like to do all of that. Oh yeah, it's snowing bad. I see what you're saying
Okay,
now.
because I was like, oh my goodness, is
Yeah.
that fire? I was
No,
thinking
that's
something was on fire
so
out
the
there.
LED is on and that's the
Okay.
snow blowing. It does look
I
pretty
thought
crazy though.
something was happening out there.
How
Now,
you doing?
I I guess you know what helps you to still love this? I think the fact that when we're off road, we get the fix of family. Like Thanksgiving, we're around family. We make it our business to see our kids
Yes.
and to spend time with our grandkids. And the holidays are a big family moment, and so we're still available for all of the sentimental things like family that family rotates around. And then by January, we're ready to get the road.
I
We're
mean,
ready to go and do things. So
sometimes
we get that break. I get that break.
she does, but
And then I'm
we got
ready to
into this
go.
honestly because she wanted to do this primarily. I didn't necessarily know a whole lot about it, so I was for it, but like the van style of doing this, you know what I'm saying? So I was trying to get her into the van life portion of doing this on a smaller scale. I feel like
I
a
just
van can
couldn't
go
do it.
anywhere, it can fit anywhere, but you would have to get one that suits your needs. And I tried even
And we
taking
did
her
look. We
in
did
some
look.
that, had showers and all of that. And she was like, no, I mean, it's just too tight. So we
We
ended up
are
looking
RVing
at
at a place
RVs
that rents cabins.
and RV living at one place that rents
Yay.
cabins. Then, okay. I love to take this thing out on the road though
Me too.
and just kind of, see it behind us because it means that the adventure is happening right then and there.
Woohoo!
The spontaneous stops, the conversations that we have, you know what I'm saying? I think it brings us closer together because we always close together. We always sitting close together in the truck. We close now. We close in the RV. She's right there. I'm
We
right
do get
here.
our space though. We
But
do we do make sure we
yeah, I
get
mean, of
space.
course. But at the same time, it's like this way of living is not for everyone, but it's definitely for me. That's all I can say.
And
It's
I
definitely for
we
me.
to answer your question, Destiny, I know we took the scenic route, which is
I always take the
pretty
scenic route.
much our life right now is the scenic route. But I think that for me and for him, we enjoy it. We're not there yet to where we're ready to put it down and move on to something else. I don't know what it'll look like for us 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 1 year from now, 10 years from now. Right now, I love it. And I have no idea of stopping it at the time. Now, one of the things I do want to go back to is, honey, you never did give us the three campgrounds
Okay.
that you love the most.
The three campgrounds that I love the most are
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Angie said I've been talking to my husband about a van camper. They are very expensive. They're like $100,000, but I couldn't do it. When we did go look at it, it looked like an
Do
ambulance.
It,
It was
Angie.
so tight.
Do it.
I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't
She
do it.
walked in though. She
It's
walked
like,
in like with
ugh.
this shoulder crunching type of thing, you know what I'm saying, like this. And I was just like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "It's tight in here." And
It's
I'm like, you didn't even give it a chance. But I'm gonna be serious. There are some that I did see on, I would say, the Mercedes chassis they had. They also had one on the ProMaster 3500 dually wheelbase, which is probably the longest that you can get. And this one had everything, but the price was like a hundred and something $1,000.
Yeah, it was
And the
expensive.
Mercedes didn't even have these features, and it was even more because it was more geared towards off-roading and 4x4 and all that other good stuff.
The contentment of being a full-time RVer is not being weighed down by stuff. And when I say stuff, I mean like the stress of having to maintain it all. When we were in the house, we had a lot of stuff. And we worked very hard to keep a place for our stuff to sit while we were never there because we were always working, right? So
Don't
it
even make sense when
yeah.
you say it out
So
loud,
it was like, I'm okay with not having all the stuff we had before. Like when we were visiting my sister, they got this huge house and like two living rooms and a basement, all this stuff. And all I could think of was, boy, that's a lot to clean up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
It's a
a lot
beautiful
to
house though.
maintain.
It
It's just
really
a
is.
lot to clean up, a
It's a
lot to maintain.
beautiful, beautiful house.
And it's like one of those things, it's like one of those things where I'm good. I don't need to go back from that. I don't need to have it, and I'm okay with where we are now. Now, would we like to have a little bit more space? Absolutely, because the simple fact is we live here, so you have to have different seasons of clothing. So you need jackets, sweaters, hoodies, jeans, long sleeves for winter, summer
Things are
shorts,
slightly
t-shirts.
different than what it, I mean, sticks and bricks, but it's just
You just need
mobile.
some space, some closet space. But
It's
other than
mobile.
that, I love it. Okay, I'm sorry. Now get back to your three favorite
So,
campgrounds.
and then I want to address the comment that Destiny just made, and then so I would definitely have to say campgrounds or just areas that we've camped,
Okay, so both. Let you
because there were some
do a
boondocking.
combo. Do a combo of a campground area that you liked and why you liked it. But you got to be brief though. So
Yeah, that's
three.
we've
So
done a
three.
lot.
So
So
three places that if Destiny said I am going out and I'm planning a trip, what is your top three places you've stayed? And what did you do when you were there that made you like it? But you got to be brief about it. So
okay,
don't
I'll
let this
try to be
train
as
run
brief
away
as
from you.
possible, but
Okay.
okay. So I would say Ely, Nevada, definitely
Oh, I love
because
Ely.
Ely was very charming in a sense of, other places in proximity to there to where you could camp
True.
at, and they were even more beautiful than,
And free.
and they were free, and they were more beautiful than the Ely campground KOA that we were work camping at. But that place itself, the KOA Ely, Nevada, is a very special place too. It's very nice, a lot of trails and open space. Nobody's on top of each other, and I just like looking out at the mountains there every day. So the
Yes.
mountains and the beautiful scenery there. Garnet Hill, if you guys are into gemstones and stuff like that. Garnet Hill was there, but another one I would have to say would be at Bryce Canyon, Sunset at
Oh,
Bryce Canyon.
yes.
That one was very amazing, just because you literally could walk across the street and Bryce Canyon was like right there. Um, really won't go much into that one, but that's the second one for me, and then I'll let you get to yours. My third one would probably have to be Kodachrome because it literally, yeah,
Really?
I like Kodachrome. I
You
mean,
talk so much trash
it
about
is. I mean, it's one of
Chrome.
those places that, like, if you are dependent on devices, like I come from, like
Uh
we
oh.
all come from, and then or I wouldn't say we all come from, but I'm just saying if you're a person that always have your device all the time, then or you always watching television or something, to that nature, then I would say most of those things kind of keep you codependent and stuck in front of them,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
when we got out in those areas, there was no television,
I
no
wish we
cell
had our bikes
reception.
when we were there because you could really, it's a place
Yeah,
you could bike around. Like you could really, because we
I
had to get
had
in the
a
truck.
bike, but it was just one at the time, and she waited until she found the right one for her. But yeah, I mean, Kodachrome, Bryce Canyon, and Ely KOA of all places. I know that's probably on
I
a
can't
personal level,
believe it. Yeah.
but yeah, Ely, Nevada KOA was definitely a good place to go.
Okay. So I guess following your lead, I'd have to say Cathedral Gorge
Right,
was one of the campgrounds that I absolutely love.
right,
And the reason why I liked it was the price. You got water and electric. It was $25 a night.
right.
It's a state park, but if you like hiking without heights, like you're hiking but you're not going incline, you're hiking through.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to hike within the hoodoos. You better take a map or take a picture of a map so you know how to get back out. But it was one of the coolest places that we went where you can hike through it. And that was cool. So, Cathedral Gorge. Now, my next favorite place would have to be
I don't know that.
Lone Rock Campground. Like I was saying earlier, it's like a beach, but not really. and it's sandy, but the night sky is phenomenal because I was able to do some
We
night
did a little
photography there.
astrophotography there.
We were there when we slept there with the door open. It was an eerie. You've never heard this kind of quiet before in your life, but it was absolutely a peaceful, restful night, and it's a good place to camp.
It
So
really
that's what I'm
is.
talking about, camping. And you're not too far from
Horseshoe Bend.
Horseshoe Bend. You're not too far from Antelope Canyon. If you want to hike in Antelope Canyon, you're not too far from that. And I guess my other favorite spot that we camped at would have to be Antelope Island. And I
Ah, okay.
loved Antelope
Okay.
Island just for the bison. I loved it for the view of Salt Lake, even though it's drying up and it smells ratchet.
It did.
But it's still a
It's like
beautiful
death.
park, right? I loved it for the little hike that you could take, and that it has a beautiful sunset and you're still in town so you can run in and do things and come back. Oh, okay, one more. And the Salt Flats. The Salt Flats was amazing, and it's fun, and you can ride your bike off the ends of the earth. It is,
Okay, I would definitely add that one too.
and you can boondock around that too. So
But when
you
you say campgrounds, I mean we boondock there, so that's the reason why I didn't count
camping,
that one.
camping.
But you said campgrounds.
Well, places we've camped, I should say, places we've camped. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a campground. It could be just places we've camped. So does that mean you want to add something to it?
I would add that one if we're gonna add the
The
ones
Salt
that
Flats?
yeah,
Yeah, it
for
was
sure.
cool. Salt
The
Flats was
South
really
Flats
nice.
was something different. It's kind of like you on another planet there. Especially when you get the boondock, or if I would say if you there on a certain day when the skies are clear or you got good clouds. We actually was fortunate enough to experience a good night
Well,
and a
yeah.
good morning too as well. So
Yeah, because you
I
can
liked
spend the
it.
night at the Salt Flats. Like it's like public land. There were people who camped on the Salt Flats at night.
Yeah.
And we did in the cul-de-sac because we had our camper, another camper, but we had our camper with us. But there are boondocking spots all around there. They have a trail that takes you into another campground where you can do boondocking, but we didn't go that far back. Now, for as far as boondocking is concerned, I think my top pick would have to be Hurricane.
Hurricane in front of
Zion.
Zion National Park
If
is
Yeah, if you're thinking
amazing.
about going to Zion maybe next season, consider staying at Hurricane. You're only like 20 minutes from the main gate to get into the park, and you're staying for free, so you can budget nothing for that. The Maverick that's down the hill from Hurricane is free potable water and dumping, and you can stay there for free and enjoy the park. And I would just 110% recommend that. Just go to the state park. If you got the pass, you can park for free, and you can pretty much enjoy.
I mean, with the setup that we have right now, I kind of wish that we could have this RV there just because it has a 360-degree view all the way around. The first unit that we had out there, it didn't have that, but it did have the same front windshield where you can lay in the bed and look out the front windshield, which was always cool. But the Long State Park, was it Long Rock?
Yes.
Long Rock Park, that one was very different. That's gonna pique the interest of I think a lot of RVers that just want to have that on the beach feeling, because there was a lot of people out there that had like side by side, depending on what you're
And a
carrying,
boat
toy
dock wasn't
haulers
too
or
far. They
you
had a
know,
boat a
right.
boat dock not too far, and every
And you had
Powell
if you got the
Powell Lake.
capability
It's off
of
of
the
Powell Lake.
vehicle, you could actually put the boat in the water there and then come over there and kind of ride jet skis. People were doing all type of things there. But that place was pretty cool too, just because I mean, it's like a beach. We stayed far away from where the beach part is because the
The
people who got
sand is
out there was
so
getting stuck.
soft. Yes.
So we didn't want to get stuck. We
We
wanted to
walked out there first. We were like,
yeah.
we want to go over here. We're gonna walk it, make sure it was like packed sand, and if we went out, we knew that that if it's the packed sand, we're gonna be good.
I never drive my RV anywhere where I feel like, I could potentially get stuck. If I can't see or anything like that, I always get out, or we'll get out together and just kind of walk in and see.
All right. And so, oh, outside of Durango, as well as what am I thinking in Colorado where we were? What's that ski town?
Tell
Telluride.
you what.
Yes. They have some great boondocking spaces there. And do not sleep on the National Forestry parks. Even when we were out in Colorado, the National Forestry, they had a campground.
Hmm.
There was no hookups, but the road was paved,
You
so
could
to
stay at a
speak.
lot of parts of the Dixie National Forest, which is some place right up the street from Ely, Nevada. Erica wanted to go, but at the same time, um, we just never got a chance to go there. And some of those inclines are kind of steep for me. Even in the beginning, that was in the beginning of us doing this, so there were a lot of places I wasn't willing to go. But after we had left, I kind of wish that we had a gone because it's like the experience of the whole thing. And then we still ended up driving on some roads that was like very sketchy, the Great Continental Divide.
Oh,
For
that was
those of you who've
scary.
never driven that before, I think with a car, just a vehicle period by itself, you would be fine. It'll probably still be just gorgeous.
We saw a
But
250 having to pull over.
but yeah, this big dually with the 250 fifth wheel on the back. When he pulled over, I pulled over too. My transmission gauge didn't move, but his, I'm sure,
It started
had ran hot.
overheating.
Because he said it. And other than that, I mean, that wasn't really even all that bad. But even going up to Great Basin with the truck by itself was still very sketchy because the switchbacks are
Yeah,
just
and it's
so
two
intense.
lanes.
It's not like a gradual switchback, back and forth like that. I mean, this really hooks around, and you got to go really slow because even passing another car, you could easily have
And
an
there's no
accident.
guardrails.
Yeah, no guardrails. This is very, 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 very cool though when you get up to the top, and it just kind of begs the question of just trying new things. I think when you are out on the road, and even if it's like me, where you just want to kind of try going up there anyway, because there was some times where we went where we wasn't supposed to go, and that was kind of sketchy, like in front of Ely that time.
Yeah, up that mountain.
You know.
Now, we did go when we went to South Lake Tahoe. We stopped at this park, this mountain resort type national forest park, right? And I wish I would have grabbed the name of it because off season you can camp at their campground for free. Remember? Because I went outside and it was like so dark you couldn't even see your hand in front of your
Where was
face.
this again?
We were on our way to South Lake Tahoe and we stopped at this park, this campground, but the resort was closed. And it was us and like two other people out there. And we pulled in there and we could park and back in, but there was no hookups there. It was just like a slab.
Oh, where you took the pictures
Yeah,
of those trees
yeah,
at
and
that?
the Milky Way that night,
Oh yeah,
and you
that
couldn't
place
even
there
see
was.
your hand in front of
Woo.
your face. But I wish I would have thought of the name of it because that's a good. That's a good.
Well, we did. I don't know. We can get back to you guys on that because remember we were dropping pins on the Google map in a lot of those places that we were going.
Yeah, that's true. We did.
So, and you've always had an Apple phone, so I'm sure that information is probably still relevant.
Yeah, that one was a good place. So like if you are traveling and you want to stay somewhere, those any of those resorts that are off season will allow you to camp there for free. Like you could park back up and stay for free. So we spent the night out
Really
there.
good site too. Yeah, she's bringing
Nice
up
and a
some of the more ones that that one was kind of like a flyby because we didn't get to spend a lot of time there.
we were just there for the night. Now they do have some with full hookups, but that section was not open because I'm sure they charge you for that.
And
Just
it's
the
bears,
boondocking section.
that section is kind of filled with wild animals who roam through heavily in that area, so
Gotta be careful.
with having just Noodle at the time, I didn't explore around the parks like we normally do. Because usually, if we stay at an RV campground or boondocking or wherever, I mean, I'll get out on my bike and ride around and walk around or whatever. and just enjoy it. You know, I take photos and videos, and she'll do the same thing. But
At the time, I was taking pictures of the Milky Way, and he was like, "You better get your tail in here, girl,"
it was just
because it was so
really quiet. Oh man, you
like
just
you heard nothing. Like, see, you stay out by the when you're in the city, you get used to the white noise of cars passing by and just
even if
noise
it's
of
in
the
the
city.
furthest of the distance.
This was like no sound at all, like nothing. And then you stick your hand in front of your face, and you just couldn't even see it.
Especially me.
But you look through the trees, and oh my goodness, the Milky Way,
It was very beautiful.
amazing, and
It
it
was.
stretched across the sky, and it was just
And you know
absolutely
what's
beautiful.
crazy about what the camera captured is exactly what we saw. I mean, these beautiful aspen trees that just like were so ginormous. And then not only that, you know, it just had this very little small gap peak of the sky, but the Milky Way is running
Ran
down
right
through it.
through it.
And that in itself was just that was so cool, you know. But that sound of just nothing, that is something I got used to. It is very peaceful, and you know, when you're even in front of hurricanes,
That's the thing. That's why I think all my favorites were like boondocking spots, because of I we got a chance to be outside,
very peaceful at
and I got a chance to shoot some astrophotography, the night sky, and really get it. Even at Lone Rock, I was able to get the
someone I was gonna say,
yeah.
Long Rock
It
was
was it
definitely
was
peaceful.
amazing. I will post some of those pictures as soon as this live is over. I will post some to my community post, and you can see them. It was really, it was the coolest thing. And Kodachrome is where I not Kodachrome. Cathedral Gorge is where I learned how to do astrophotography. Shout out to Alex. He taught me how to do it,
Alex,
and it was on and popping from there. And we went hiking at night, and that was the coolest
with
experience.
strangers,
I know, it was so much fun though.
stranger danger.
And like I said, when we were going, it was really cool. Now Badlands has a campground too, and that is really, it was really cool. That was cool. They
I
were
don't know why I didn't
close.
say that one.
They were close. And Vermilion State Park in South Dakota. Shout out to them. That campground was water and electric. It was like you had your own space with a yard.
It's like you had a seasonal site almost.
Yes, it was.
This thing was,
It was absolutely
man,
amazing.
you
And
had a nice, beautiful pad for the RV, and then it had a fence going along the side, and it stepped up to the next site that was still far away from you. Then you had this concrete patio with the picnic table. I mean, you always stepping on concrete pad or just your own fire pit and chairs, not just these little wimpy
and
chairs.
don't stay at the first one, because if you go down and around the corner on the other, like you go past the park, make a left, and then go back up, you can go on the side with the lake,
Mm-hmm.
which is where we didn't go. I wish we kind of did.
Me too.
So it had a side with lake views, and it was just beautiful. And I think it was only like $30 for the night, and you got water and electric, and it was absolutely beautiful. And that is the Vermilion State Park in South Dakota, right outside of Sioux Falls. So when you go past Sioux Falls, on your way to Badlands. But Badlands was really cool,
Love Badlands.
and we stayed there for 2 nights, and we enjoyed our time there. I'd like to go back there and kind of explore a little bit more. We did the drive through, but we got there one day, we did the drive through the next day, went to the Wall drugstore, which is famous for that
How
area.
can you not? They're kind of forcing
Yeah.
you to go.
And then we stayed that night, and then we left, and then we headed on into
Cascade
Wyoming.
Locks.
Yeah. Wyoming. We were headed to Wyoming.
When we went to Badlands, I thought we were going to go work at the Oregon
We
KOA.
were, we were, but that's when we went through Wyoming at the Tetons in the winter.
Oh, the
Yes.
Devil's Tower was another good treat to see too.
Ooh,
That one
yes.
was a nice little national park to go and see. Just because this thing is bigger than life, and it looks just like out of something you would see in another, just not here, in the
It's
United
very
States.
different.
Very different place. A lot of these things you could probably see on YouTube and stuff like that,
But it doesn't
but
give you the same justice.
it's not. And I mean, it is beautiful even in some ways that they capture it, but you just should always go and just have your own experience. That's what I say. In some videos that even I record, I find myself saying that, that
Hi.
I'm doing it. Oh, and I got a question that I want to ask you too on
We
camera.
gotta ask Destiny's question too. She said, "You both glow when describing your favorites. Now, what places did you run from and would not return to?"
Honestly,
The Walmart in Little Rock, Arkansas.
I wouldn't go back to the Walmart
I
in
would
Little
not
Rock,
stay. That
Arkansas.
we stayed at. That was our first night out, and we call ourselves. He called himself having us spend the night there, and it was the worst night in the history of our RV travels.
Yeah.
And we learned from that mistake. We were up at 4 o'clock at the Love's gas station, laughing, drinking coffee. It was terrible. As far as campgrounds are concerned, is there a campground that I ran from and wouldn't go back to? We haven't had that
That's
experience,
what I
to
was
be
gonna say.
honest. I just, you know,
Yeah.
we've always, okay, so whenever we went, we've never had an issue like that. Mostly people are trying to enjoy their families and make the best of the time they got because they're on a time crunch and they got to get back to work. So they're not really studying you per se.
Oh, thank you.
And then all of the retired people, they're kind of minding their business and they filter over and they talk to you and they're nice. We just haven't had, praise the Lord, the experience of where we're like, you know
Having a
what?
bad experience.
Yeah, like we need to get out of here and never come back ever
And
again.
honestly, to be honest with you, I think a lot of that stems from after our first season, of work camping, because we never had an RV. We just now putting it out on the road for the very first time. So we've had no experiences as far as that was concerned. But once we kind of started doing it and we left and we was going into different places and we had our own first experience, it was quite pleasant, because we were learning and nobody really just was like obnoxious like that, I would say.
I think I do have one. And it
Really?
and it wasn't because it was a bad experience. When we went north headed to Maine, we stayed at a KOA in Connecticut. There was nothing wrong with it. They were just ridiculously expensive. It was like $100 a night when we were coming back. And remember we spent one night there and it was $100. And then as we were going up there, it was like 56 something a night.
I think that was
I
because
just,
of the solar eclipse, but
yeah,
I don't think
it
it
was just
was like
expensive.
normally that.
Well, on the way back, it was September, and it was $100. So I would have to say,
It's not worth that. I'm just
yeah,
say that as far as the
and
amenities
it
are
was just
concerned,
water and electric. It wasn't
it's a
even
nice
worth
place though. It's not bad, but
It's
it's
not bad. It
right
was
by
just expensive,
the highway, which where they put us. So we
and
heard
yeah,
18 wheelers
all
all night
night long.
long.
It was not worth $100
So
bucks.
yeah, no,
So that's it. Like we said, it wasn't. We didn't have a bad experience. It was just overpriced. They
yeah.
took advantage of the fact that the state parks were now closed,
Now,
and that they were the only ones left open, and they
yeah,
can kind of charge what they want. So that I didn't really appreciate, So and they weren't the friendliest bunch, They spoke to you, but it was almost like it's because it's my job type thing. So I just didn't get the warm and
and that's
fuzzies.
kind of what I was getting at. Once you have the chance to be on the other side of the spectrum, then you have that opportunity to kind of feel like you know what you're doing. And when I say that, I mean now I am the one who's offering the customer service, and I know what I got at a park when I went, and people treated me good and fair, and they was pretty prompt whenever we had issues or things like that. And so whenever I'm the maintenance guy at these KOAs, this is the same energy that I bring. So you kind of learn what people want and what they like, and you even know who to talk to when you are doing these things. There are some people that just give you all indications that they do not want to have any conversation with you. And for those people, I still treat them just like I would anyone else. And I take them to their sites and wish them well. And if you need anything, let me know. And most times, all the time, I'll say, the very next day, if they see you again, it's very much more jolly than when you first, So you can't really take things to heart either, because sometimes you're getting off the road and people just don't
Irritable.
want to talk to
They
nobody.
just don't read the room. You even have to read the room at when people are checking in. Sometimes you are people are talkative and they're excited to see you,
Yeah,
and some people just want
nothing.
just tell me my site.
That's
I'm
it.
I'm sick of because you don't know if they've been arguing in the car on the way there
You
or if
said
they
turn
had
left, she went
yeah,
right.
or they had a wrong turn and they had a hard time turning the camper around. We've been some places where the directions weren't all that clear and people
Yeah,
got off on the
Cascade
wrong
locks.
exit and then they couldn't turn around and then they come in like y'all need to do something about these exits.
Mm-hmm.
So reading the room and like you say the next day usually people are extremely pleasant and
Yeah.
they're apologizing because they know it's not you. They it's the situation at the time. But oh, speaking of Cascade Locks, if you ever find yourself along the Columbia Gorge, there are a lot of state parks there as well.
Oh yeah.
And they have a lot of boondocking spots and water and electric spots. I don't think any of them are full hookup. I think this,
Along the gorge,
yes.
anywhere is just
Now there's one in particular that
amazing.
sits up on a perch and it overlooks the gorge, and I think that back end area they were really tight, so they weren't really for like motor coaches or
Bigger
anything
RVs.
bigger than maybe 22 foot, but you could definitely stick some tents in there and it's just a beautiful view. So if you're ever in the Oregon area and you want to be on the Columbia Gorge, you can always go there. It is absolutely beautiful.
Love, love,
Yes,
love
and
that
you would
place.
you would you would definitely love it. And I guess the last one I want to kind of tap on is our home state, where we used to live. I don't know where we live now
We kind of all over.
because we haven't really been back there. But you
I
have
still say I'm from Tennessee
I
just
say my
because,
home base is Tennessee.
when
Yeah.
people see the tags on the truck, sometimes they kind of automatically assume that, you go back there every season. In the beginning, we did, but
That's when everybody was there. Now
yeah,
everybody's spread out.
yeah. And then, we kind of would go and nobody would ever really have the time when we had the time. And, everybody on different schedules. So,
Now, what was the name of that park?
I like Twin Falls, not Twin
No, no,
Falls.
no, no. The park we pretty much lived at when we came there.
Oh, that was Cedars of Lebanon, but
Cedars of Lebanon did an upgrade, and we haven't seen it since they upgraded it.
that
But
would be
that was a
cool.
really nice park. I want to recommend that one. The hiking trails, they had the
Yeah.
trails, the walking trails. You could
The
ride
whole
your
park
bike.
is the whole Cedar Trail. I mean, Cedars Point is just, yeah. Check that one out if you're ever in Tennessee, and I would say that outside of the Nashville area, if you're coming from that way, or if you're coming from the Gatlinburg, Tennessee way, definitely check out Cedars of Lebanon. That's a really cool state park, and I like it just because it's got a lot of trails and bike riding things and things you can do with the family. It's very spread out, and the people there are pretty friendly too, especially if you're a returning guest like we were. We kind of lived there, so even when I would say we probably overstayed our 14-day limit, they
They didn't really
still,
mind because it was off season,
yeah, they
and trust
still
me, it
would.
was a lot of us living out there
There
because
were a
that
lot of
park
people
stayed
there.
full. Now, one of my absolute favorite places because I absolutely love, 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 and they've become friends of mine, is a campground we almost pretty much lived at when we went back to Tennessee, and it's right out of the side of Dixon, and they are not trying to gouge your eyes out. It was 160 for a week and 330 for the month. Full hookup, nicest people you ever wanted to meet. Great bathrooms, great driving in and out right there next to the expressway. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but the name, as far as the name, is just hold on. T T
Do,
T T T.
do,
Hold on,
do,
don't say nothing. Hold on.
do, do,
Uh,
do, do. Get your phone and look it up. I'm not going to tell you.
turn buck or turn something. I know what you're
I
talking
need you
about.
to. I need you to
I
actually
don't have
say it.
my phone. My phone is in the truck.
Oh well, wah, wah, wah. I can't tell you.
Well, you gotta tell them.
I can't remember. That's what I'm pressing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But
Um,
it is one of the
you want me to get
best.
your iPad?
Yeah, you could do that. It's one of the best places. I want to make sure I give a shout out to them because whenever we are coming back in town, they always make sure they have a space for us. And she texted me earlier and she was like, "Hey, are you coming in town? Do you need a space?" And I was like, "I'll let you know." And you can live there. You could live there, and it is super affordable. What did Destiny say?
Say you two are definitely an epitome of customer service. You said right about kind of goes a long way when it's not reciprocated. You're right. Any campground will be blessed to have you. I really appreciate that because I love people, and regardless of, you can see it in some of the people what they saying in the comments. Some stuff you ignore, and you got to be good at ignoring ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
Tan
So
Bark.
Tan Bark, I
Tan
knew it was
Bark
something.
Campground.
I knew it.
Don't kill me.
I
If you
knew it.
see
I
this,
knew
do
it. I
not
knew
kill
it.
me. Tannenbark Campground. You will love it. Flood them. Go see them.
Yes.
Book them up.
Yes.
You will not be disappointed. If you need a monthly space, $400 a month, good. You cannot stay anywhere near Nashville for 400 a month and 160 a week.
That was a
And
cool place though.
yes,
Very quiet,
we
very peaceful, family owned
that's like our
and
address
operated.
when we're there.
Yes, it really
And
is.
so I just wanted to give a shout out to them and let you know that that's that.
Right.
So make sure you check them out. And the last one that he was getting ready to tell you about was the one we went to the falls.
No, that was Twin Falls, but
Yes,
that
Twin
was in the
Falls.
Shoshone area. But I was actually talking about
Twin Falls? No,
yeah.
remember that we took a hike there. The one way out like you going towards Knoxville.
No, not that one. That was
What was the
three
name of
that
that?
was three
What was
something.
the name of that park?
Um
We don't know nothing, honey. We ain't been back in Tennessee so long we
And we
forgot.
never, and that was a thing that people used to ask us in some of the comment sections or in the beginning, like, why do you guys never explore around in Tennessee? And for us at the time, the adventure was on the road, and the
Yes.
road led west, and we always wanted to go out west. And so,
That's my heart is still
we
there.
just
I
kind
cannot
of
wait.
got out there and just, love to entertain and meet new people, and that's where I think I got out of my shell. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to what I said earlier, I wanted to ask you a
Okay,
question.
okay.
What is one thing that you have learned about yourself and conquered? What's a fear that you've overcome during this journey?
Oh my goodness. I've always loved to travel, so it wasn't a fear of going. Um, the fear of not having enough.
Overcoming.
Yeah, overcoming
Yeah,
that.
the
A
fear that
fear.
you overcame.
The fear of overcome is not having enough. Like you start to
So you've overcome that.
worry about everything. I think I've done a pretty good job of conquering that to a certain extent. Because before, when you're at home, you're constantly worried about how you're going to meet this, how you're going to do that, how you're going to take care of this, work, how are you going to do this, how are you going to get this done, deadlines and stuff like that. So you have a plethora of different things that you are stressed over.
Okay.
And I think I've conquered the ability of not wearing myself down worrying about having enough or being able to take care of things, because in the
You've
beginning,
accepted the minimal.
yes, because in the beginning that was that, and I know where he's getting at with this. That's why he's giving me that look, like, so you overcome that, right? When we first started out, I stressed really heavily on finances because of the simple fact is we had very good jobs, and when we wanted to take off and go places, we had plenty of money to do so. Now we left with our savings and and here we were embarking on an unknown, and the stress of will we have enough kind of stole the joy in the beginning because
It
it's
did.
like, okay, so if we stay here, we can only stay XYZ nights. We need to make sure we're getting here. And it kind of took the spontaneity out of the travel because you were always concerned about will we have enough, right? And we were all, we learned about work camping. So the goal was like, okay, just have enough to get to the work campsite, and then you'll be good. You'll be working. You'll put it, and you kind of just talk yourself through the fact that it's just money. Yes, you
It's
need it.
just money.
You need it. We know you need it. You know you need gas. Not being frivolous and silly, but don't fixate it to the point to where you don't do anything and you don't go anywhere and you're so worried about money that it's a fight
Yeah,
and you're so stressed out and you can't even enjoy the journey that you've given up everything for.
I agree with that.
So I think to a certain extent, I still think about finances because RVing is like 90% gas. Cause
I
if you're
agree.
in the right area, you can kind of live for free and make it.
If you own it,
Yes, it's 90% gas, and so yes, that's true.
if you
That's
own
true.
the
Then
trailer
you're
and
not
the
worried
truck,
about
then you're
all
not
that
worried
other stuff.
about,
Yeah,
how much is going out. Your
that point.
bills are minimal too because everything works off a 12-volt battery.
Yeah, what he said.
So
And so I think I've gotten over the stress of just almost working yourself into a miserable tizzy because you're so concerned of will we have enough.
okay. What are three
Do you
things?
no? Wait a minute now. Do you agree with that? Because you live with
No,
me.
no,
Do you
but
think
the
that
thing,
is true?
no, I'm not here to, I'm here to ask you a question and kind of move on to
You're
the
such a
next one.
smart man.
So
He's
I'm
such a
not
smart
necessarily,
man.
here to agree or disagree
I'm
with
just
your
wanting to
answer.
know what you
But what I
thought.
want, I know, I understand. We'll talk
Okay,
about it
okay,
later. But
okay.
now, what are three things that you learned about yourself? Got to make it brief.
Okay, three things I learned about myself. I really do love the outdoors. My mom was not a very much of an outdoors person, and so we didn't spend time in tents and camping and stuff like that because she repulsed it. She'd rather be in a hotel.
Okay.
So I've learned how much I really do love being outside. I learned how much I really do love and enjoy doing things with you. That
Oh, stop
I'm just
it.
saying, I do. I enjoy his company. I enjoy being with him. The laughter, I enjoy that he motivates me to keep going, even though, sometimes I'm like, oh, let's turn around. But I enjoy the time that we spend together because it's genuine time and it doesn't feel forced. And even though sometimes you're doing things that I want to do, or sometimes I'm doing things you want to do, we still enjoy what we're doing. So that's three things that it's okay to do something outside of your comfort zone and enjoy it. And then the last thing I learned is that I need to keep my anxiety medication well stocked because I'm not well.
Anyway, um, I'll agree with that.
I guess I don't know. The third thing, I don't know. I don't. What else did I learn about myself? Tell me, what did I learn? What did
that
you
you could
see?
do anything.
What did you see that I learned?
I saw that you could do anything. That would have been one that I would have thrown in there just because I saw you. Um,
I've learned to budget better
I saw
too.
you had a dream and chased the dream and
Put the dream in a chokehold.
kind of sort of, but in a more nicer way. Just kind of you overcame the fear of doing this. You brought the RV home while I was at work, and you went and hooked this death trap to the back of the rental truck, and you know, you kind of helped start it off this until I could get there and look at it and kind of put my hands on it and see, what it is that's going on with this thing
Thank
because
you,
I had never seen
Destiny.
a RV before, so I knew nothing about how to operate it, which is another reason why.
Well,
Speaking
what's
of the
your three?
reason, speaking of why we won't return back to the Walmart in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, that's all.
Um, just because we didn't, that, and I think that's the reason why we make these videos too, because the sheer ignorance of not knowing that we could turn the heater on in Walmart parking lot.
That's
We froze to death.
embarrassing. That's so.
But
You know what?
but
That
but
was God's
that
plan.
was God's
That
plan
was God's
because
plan.
it was meant for us to be cold in there so we couldn't sleep because somebody was gonna try to get on the back of the truck and take our generator.
And if the heater
And
was on, we would have never
and if the
heard it.
heater was running, we would have never heard that. Um, and we probably would have slept through the night while we were being jacked in between
Robbed.
two 18-wheelers in Walmart
Because they
parking
were
lot
humming too.
that had security.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
I would just say,
Thank you, Destiny.
I would just, totally say some of the places that I've grown to just conquer the fear of towing this around. So for me,
So
towing
towing.
this
All
would
right.
be definitely something that I feel like I've overcome. The fear of the unknown.
Is that number 2 or is that
Yeah,
still
just
1?
yeah, just I'm just saying, like even when we get to some of these remote places, I could just sit in front of the RV and barbecue, and just never ever go around. But being afraid of the wild animals or what you don't know that's out there in some of these places, would still kind of keep you from exploring, so to speak. And I've never not done that anywhere because I usually take my bear spray. And if I don't take my bear spray, then I just go anyway because whatever's out there don't want to see me like I don't want to see it. And usually when we do see animals, they kind of scurry their own way and we see it from a distance and enjoy it like
But
that.
it'd be a little different now. We got Pepper because she try to.
Pepper will chase things. She
She
don't care
will
how
call
big
them
it
out and
is.
call attention to us. Where Noodle is like he just look.
He would just not say anything. If that was something that was like a coyote, that would probably approach if they saw a little dog, Noodle would just, Noodle, come here, Noodle, be quiet, don't
Pepper
say
would be
nothing.
like.
This one, this one, oh yeah, we're over here.
She'll get us 8 and kill.
Yeah, no, I would
What's your
definitely.
third one?
So my third one is just overcoming the fear of not being social in the environments that we've been, with some of the people who went out of their way to be social to you, but because you're not used to that, you kind of shy away sometimes, or maybe you just don't really come out of your shell, And I would say doing this and being around couple friends sometimes that we've met and just other people that kind of welcome you with open arms. They don't see you as a skin color or anything like that. They just see you as a person and enjoy who you are. I think that is something that I've overcome because now, I've always had the gift of gab to be able to be friends with anyone, but at the same time, it was like we had things in common, and a lot of people talk about things that I don't, used to not do, but now doing this, I've done everything. I can give you 100-point, 10-point check on this thing, the truck, everything that you need to know, just because I've been around people that have given me that knowledge and they've given me that love and kind of, say, hey, I want to follow your YouTube channel, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that. So shout out to the people who understood me during this journey, that have just appreciated me and saw me for whoever they saw me as, being kind or, helpful or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And we try to do that with other people,
No matter
other
where we are.
RVers, because we've seen that where the RVers in an RV park are very much so tight knit community type of vibe where you might pull in and you be setting up an hour later because you've talked to the neighbor just that long when you've not even gotten up
Yeah,
before.
just
So,
that long.
or you may have a meal with them like we did with the people in
Oh
Cascade Locks,
yes, he was a chef, and can I tell you, it
His
was
kids
top
could cook.
tier.
His kids could cook
It
really
was
good.
delicious. One day we were getting off of work, and he was like, "I know you guys got off late, and I know you don't want to cook. We
Our
made you
grandkids
guys
were there.
dinner." And I was like, "What?" My husband has never met a stranger either. That's why I was kind of surprised at his last answer because he is one of the most friendliest people I've ever met. Sometimes too, it's annoying.
But that's what I mean. But we've been doing this going 5 years. That's come with the time. You know what I mean? That's come with the time. Not necessarily me always being like that. I
And
come
it's not
from the
easy
other
to make
I
friends
come
as
from
an
the other
adult.
side. I'm rough around the edge, you know what I'm saying? At least that's how I used to be. But I'm just saying that when you've not really experienced community type of things, then you don't know how to reciprocate those things. Like she was saying earlier about the customer service.
Yeah.
Some people can be too much, or some people could be not enough. And I try to stay right in between. So if they do want to talk, I'm open for that. And then if they don't want to talk, I know how to fall back, and then just let me know if you need me anyway. So
But let me tell you, it is not easy making friends as adults. I mean, as a kid, everybody's your friend. Teenagers, you're feeling people out, you give them a chance. As an adult, you're a little bit more guarded with friendships. And so, as we've become each other's kind of best friend because we spend a lot of time together. But it is nice to kind of meet people because you don't get as many opportunities anymore to like make friends. So it's nice to when you're out be able to meet people that you can vibe with, that have something in common, that you can kind of talk about the same thing. Hey
right.
Ben, and stuff like that, because making friends as an adult, setting your ways, it's not easy, right? You're not a kid anymore, so it's one of those things where it has become really nice to make to have and create friendships with people that you meet that have the same interests and that you look forward to seeing again out on the road, because you never know, where they might pop up or where they might go. And I have people hit me up on Facebook all the time saying, hey, are you guys going to be here? Are you guys going to come out this way, this summer? I have quite a few people wanting to know, hey, when are you guys going to make it to courtside? We want to do some lives, or we want to see you guys, or whatever. So it's an exciting lifestyle. I enjoy it. I enjoy the fact that we're doing something that a lot of people we know are not doing, but they're interested in doing it. So it gives you the opportunity to kind of talk to people about living outside of the norm and outside of the box.
So people think that we just plumb crazy,
They
we
do
do
look at
have
our camper
pets. We
like,
got two dogs, Noodle and Pepper, and
Ben, you got to go back to the beginning of the video and you'll see them. You'll see the dogs.
but yeah, some people think we just out of our minds. I will say, as a person who comes from being, let me take that
Uh
off.
oh.
As I
Gotta.
come from one of those people that in the work field, the everyday 9 to 5, to doing something like this, just completely out of left field. This is really getting thrown in the fire. You don't even get a chance to learn how to operate the RV, how to turn on the radio, the television, the heater. This is just, all right, guys, happy camping. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I need to kind of learn these things before we get out on the road. But we did have an opportunity to learn the RV a little bit, and even though we didn't know everything about it, it was still exciting to kind of take on something that took a lot of responsibility, and it took both of us to do. Just because I needed her to back the truck up and trust that she could do it right every time. We went from kind of nagging at each other to,
Hand gestures. Just tell you what you want me. He said, "Where you want me to put this thing? Just tell me where you want me to drop it." And
and it's like just like
I
that.
said, I want it right here, and he could put it right at my foot and drop it. And people are super impressed. But at the same time, we're thankful that we've had the opportunity to experience the lifestyle that we have, but also grow from the challenges that we face, because RVing it is what it is. It is beautiful sights and mountaintops and gorgeous drives and
But
adventure,
it's only really
but
meant
it's
for two people, though.
but no, what I was gonna say was, but it also has its downsides where your pipes burst, where something leaks, where something happens, or like the other day when the power kept tripping and it was 9 degrees and we were trying to figure out what was going on. And honey's all outside and checking fuses and at the box, and and trying to do what we can because it's cold. And life still happens on the road, but we've learned to deal with those things together. And he knows I'm not the enemy, and I know he's not the enemy. And even though we get a little frustrated at times, We know how to say, okay, honey, just let me know what you need, and back away. So it's one of those things that you just,
She tried to get me to do that, but I feel like maybe if I like went to school for it, I would thrive in doing it. I don't have no problem with taking apart and disassembling our RV. So, but the things are that you're doing here is really kind of minuscule. You know, it's not really a whole lot of technical things that go on unless you're rebuilding it from the ground up. I think anybody could do anything, preferably inside of an RV if it came. If you got a little bit of handy skills, but I would, kind of like to maybe dab into that side of things one
the
day.
problem is it's like 6 grand to take the
It
class.
is
It's
pretty pricey,
expensive.
but I would do it if I had an opportunity to do it. I did do it
Y'all
for
heard him.
if I had an opportunity to do
You
it, I would
heard
do it.
him.
But at the same time,
Thanks, Destiny.
I haven't really
What is
just.
that noise? It's something moving around out there. You didn't hear it? I heard it twice.
I don't hear anything.
It will. It'll happen again. I've heard it. I'm tuned in. I hear it.
Yeah, well,
But
I really do. I have learned a lot over the years, but um, I'm always either teaching people or they're teaching me. You know what I'm saying? So I think the knowledge really just kind of, it comes full circle because I remember when I first journeyed out, I wasn't even sure if I had it hooked up to the truck right. And we had got maybe an hour or two outside of Tennessee, stopped at a gas station and asked this gentleman who had no weight distribution. He had nothing but the ball and hits and he was zooming. And I'm like, why is this guy not all over the road? So he pulled into the same store and I asked him, could he, take a look
he
at my
said,
setup?
yeah, look good to me.
And he asked me, he said, you did this by yourself? I told him, yeah. He was like, well, you did a good job, like that. So after that point, I gained a little bit more confidence behind the wheel as we gained each mile more going forward. And I would say for anybody who's starting out, you know what I'm saying, it's definitely something you got to get used to and adjust to. But it can be whatever you make it. You know what I'm saying? The space that we had in the beginning, I think, would have made us not really like each other all that much. You know what I'm saying? Because it was no slide. It was
It was
very
tight,
cramped.
but we made it. We lived in
But
that
we
thing for
did.
a
We
year.
did. And even when people said to us, wow, you guys live in that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, we live full time in this. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I
Thank you,
said,
Ben.
um that even itself was part of our journey to expand and get bigger and bigger. But just because we know what we like, and like a lot of RVs nowadays that come with the things that are more residential, like, and they're more for pavement parking, and we don't pavement park a lot. So the Furion endless water heaters and all of those 12-volt things that I don't really necessarily need. The 12-volt fridges and all of that. It may be useful for somebody else, that camp a certain way or live in these things a certain way. But for Eric and I, we've always enjoyed the propane electric
Yes.
kind of,
Because you never know
appliances.
where we might end up,
So
and we
like
need
even here,
both.
if we unplug from the power, still being able to kind of use the fridge and those things. I'm not really a fan of the 12-volt stuff.
But you guys, we are almost out of juice. Um, and we love coming on and talking to you guys. So let us know what you are interested in. You heard that. I know you heard that.
That was
What
me.
what you are interested in and what you'd like to have our lives be about. So when you come, we can make these as meaningful as possible. And we could do this to help you and help you in your journey with any questions you might have. We thank you for your gifts. We thank you for your super chats and all that good stuff. And we are
No super chats. Oh yeah, we got one. Oh, we
well,
got a
we
gift.
appreciate it.
We
when we
got a
get them,
couple
we
gifts.
appreciate it. We appreciate the gifts. So I just want to say thank you guys for everything. Thank you for
Very
your
much.
support. Thank you for just taking this journey with us. If you want to help us with gas money, we thank you for that too. Our information is underneath the page. It's got everything in there. You can check that out at your leisure. And we are going to call it a night because we still have not ate dinner and it is 9 o'clock.
Hold on. Angie, the solar panel thing too, that is definitely very helpful, especially with the 12-volt things. We looked at the video that Honey made of the Kodiak. Not sure what the floor plan was, but the Kodiak that we looked at,
The Ultra?
yeah, the Ultimate.
Yeah.
So
Ultimate.
this one was very nice, and it had all the 12-volt stuff
Bye,
that I
Ben.
wouldn't necessarily say I liked. It even had the cable slides and the other few other things
It
that I
was nice
just
though. It had a
didn't
king
like.
size bed. I love
But
that.
they definitely did have. I mean, it didn't have solar, so
I'll let you know the next
that was just
live,
something
okay?
that I didn't really mind in that particular unit. Oh no, I take that back. They had one solar panel, and that solar panel, which is how he explained it to me, would continue to keep these things running even while the trailer's going down the road. Now, the more I understood that, then I was like, okay, well, I can, as long as it has solar. But we haven't really found one yet that really has that.
I know
And
what I want. I
and
know what I want.
and I think you said earlier, okay, yeah, you said that you've been trying to get your husband to do the full-time RV thing from being stressed about work. I'm sure as all of you have been fans of Erica's, you know the story of how we started doing this and the job situation thing. The job thing was more like her. I was okay with my job and know my job, but I feel what she feels. And if she come home and say, I don't want to do this no more, then you know, I don't want her to feel like she had to do it no more. But at the same time, to be able to have somebody to talk to and understand what you truly are saying, then we just tried this and we said we would do it for 1 year, and even though I didn't want to do it, and I kind of went kicking and screaming a little bit. But once we were out there though, and once we were hitting that open road, and once we were talking and laughing, and we feel like now we got it. You know what I'm saying? We really truly got it. We double trouble, double triple checked everything, and the experiences got better and better and better, which made this better and better and better. I mean, if the situations that may arrive in maybe your first year or 6 months or 3 months or whatever are situations that may run anyone off, then maybe it's not for you, a blowout or whatever, the car breaking down, us having to tow the truck 2 hours misfiring.
Mm.
So, I mean, we've been through our fair share of things that don't get shown on camera, and then sometimes these things do get shown on camera, but no matter what, the lifestyle choice that I think we've made here
It works
versus
for us.
there where we used to be is definitely much more better and healthier as far as us concerned, because having the kids and all of that good stuff, and I'm gonna wrap it up after this.
Because it's about to die.
I understand, but after having the kids kind of leave the nest, so to speak, we really
Yeah.
didn't have a whole lot of things to do with each other or knew what to do with each other.
We knew
So,
we liked to travel, but we just
but
didn't.
not
It was more me
with
than him.
me and her, just us, not the kids, not she loving to travel or we traveling, just us, me and her. Honey, what do you want to do? I don't know. Well, what do you want to do? Well, what do you like to do?
We started doing more spontaneous
But the
stuff.
things that we
That's for
do
sure.
together now with doing this, it brings us closer together, which I think will bring you guys closer together. And I also think that it'll make
Make sure you subscribe.
I think it'll also make for great memories for you two. And if nobody understand, don't include them in it. That's what I always tell Eric.
Yes, I've always said that not everybody will understand your dream because it's not theirs, and that's okay, right? But don't let them take it from you because it's not their dream. That is not okay.
Wasn't mine,
So
but I'm glad that I'm here to enjoy it, and I've enjoyed it, and I've given things a chance that I normally wouldn't. And I would say this to anybody: if you haven't done something before, then how do you even know that you like it?
uh, Boy, there you go. Well, you guys, we love y'all, and we're so thankful that you came and spent almost an hour and a half with us on this live.
Oh yeah, we've been here
Yeah,
for a
we've been
while.
going for a minute where we were talking about just locations and stuff like that. So let us know what you want the next topic to be so it could be beneficial to you. And we're going to be in Ohio for another week. So we're not counting this week. Next week is our last week, and then we are out of here. So make sure that you are subscribing because the journey is getting ready to pick up and go again, and we want to take you guys with us. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the new subscribes, all the people that subscribe to the channel.
Thank
Make
you,
sure you hit the
Destiny.
notification
Thank
bell.
you, Angie.
Thank you for everything, and we
Thank
will
you,
see
Margaret.
you guys in the next live. Angie, I'm getting ready to post those pictures we were talking about in the community post, so be looking for that. I'm getting ready to do it in a few minutes, and we will see you guys in the next live, and we'll talk soon.
Peace
Bye for
out.
now.